Hello, and welcome back to our Elite Escapes. I'm Jim Sadlier, and today Dan and Melody sit down with Greg from Jumeirah Hotels. Take it away, Dan and Melody.
Thank you so much for that great introduction, Dad, and welcome back to our Elite Escapes. I'm your host, Dan Sadlier, with my co-host, Melody Sadlier, and today we have on Greg from Jumeirah Hotels, and we are so excited to have Greg here today. But before we bring on Greg, we, as you know, make sure that you, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel below, like this episode, and make sure to share it to all your travel-loving friends, and especially those luxury travel lovers, because Jumeirah Hotels is the perfect brand for them. And if you wait to the end of this episode, you will get a sneak peek inside Jumeirah Hotels. So with that, Greg, thank you again so much for joining us today. We truly appreciate you. Could you start by giving us an overview of the Jumeirah brand and what sets it apart from other luxury hotel chains around the world?
Absolutely. But first, Dan, Melody, thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. So what sets Jumeirah apart? So I think for starters, for people that might not be familiar with it, we are headquartered in Dubai. We're owned by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, who is the ruler of Dubai, and it took a lot of practice to get that correct. So when people think of Jumeirah, they do tend to think of Dubai right away, and they're not wrong. Most people really tend to um, group us right there. But playfully, we kind of say that the best way to go to Dubai is the Jumeirah way. A little cheesy, but we love it. But we also have properties in other parts of the world. So Abu Dhabi, Oman, Kuwait, Bahrain, and we've been expanding in other regions of the world, for example, like the Maldives and Bali and in Europe. So lots of excitement for us. But what I think sets us apart is from maybe some of the European brands or some of the larger American brands is that we are an Arabic hotel company, and we've recently gone through a rebranding, and we're refocusing on core tenets of Arabic hospitality. So joy and generosity and warmth are going to be the core tenets of the hospitality that we try to bring to guests and making them feel at home when they're at a Jumeirah property. And that's really our goal and what I think probably sets us apart.
Oh, that sounds great. You did mention that you did expand into the Maldives. I also know Mallorca and Capri, which I'm really excited about because we sell that all the time. Can you tell us about the brand's international presence and how it caters to different types of travelers in various locations?
Definitely. So I'll try to always group the properties together so we're in the same geographical location. So let's start with maybe Capri. So, it's in Anna Capri. It's high on the other side of the island. So it's very chic. It's very tranquil. So, obviously Southern Italy in summertime is bustling with people. So the fact that it's in Anna Capri, it's kind of away from the day trippers, and the other side of the island it's a little bit more crowded. But we have clients that constantly come back to the medical spa that's at Capri. We have a signature leg treatment that helps with circulation in your legs. We have Zuma as our rooftop restaurant there, so you can watch the sunset go down over the Gulf of Naples. And we also have our Il Richo Beach Club. So we're fortunate to be one of, I think, only two properties on the island that has a beach club. But I say beach club, but it's a beach club without the beach. So it's cliffs with day beds, and it's sponsored by Christian Dior, actually. So there's a pop-up Christian Dior store there if you want to go shopping. There's also the two restaurants. We opened a new pizzeria called Amare with a local Italian celebrity chef. And there's the Il Richo restaurant that features amazing seafood, but there's also the first time I've ever experienced this at a hotel is the Temptation Room. So it's you gain 5 pounds by walking in. It's it's all the desserts you can possibly imagine, and they're all free to just take as if you're a guest of the beach club. So it's not the most reinforcing when you're in a bathing suit and you go back out to the sunbed afterwards, but it's really, really delicious. Let's see. Staying within Europe, the Mallorca property is built on a ridge in between the Tramontana Mountains and the Mediterranean. It's super serene. It actually has one of my favorite spas that we have. There are these geothermal pools that you can relax in, and you're just looking at the mountains. And I remember when I went out and was sitting in them, you could hear a pin drop, and just the tranquility and the piece that was in the area was amazing. And it's only a 10-minute walk to this adorable town of Port Sawyer that has all of these boutiques and restaurants. And, you know, it's an easy walk downhill, but it's a very hard walk back uphill. So the hotel will send a transfer for you. Um, and then we also have our sunset terrace at the property, which has been amazing. Just picture a cocktail in hand and you're watching the sunset go down. Actually, Dan, right behind you is the infinity pool. So the sunset terrace kind of has the very similar view going down, but just with DJ vibes and lounge music and a nice cocktail. So between the Mallorca property, the Capri property, and then actually, well, let's thinking about the Maldives property too. Um, 45 minutes or so from Male Airport, really easy to get to. So you don't have to do a seaplane. The entire island is small, so maybe 15 or 20 minutes, you can walk the entirety of it. My personal favorite is the spa where you have your, all the spas are overwater cabanas. So you have cutout in the floor. So when you're getting your massage treatment, you're looking down at the water. So you see like the tropical fish going by and put me right to sleep personally. Um, and something cute also for either families or like or something romantic for couples. All of the villas, whether they're over water or whether they are on the beach, have rooftops. So the staff can set up movie nights on the rooftop. So if you want to have a movie night under the stars in the Maldives on your villa, you could do that as well. There's a lot for in terms of just our expansion beyond Dubai that people might not realize because like I said earlier, people think of Dubai when they think of Jumeirah sometimes.
Amazing. All of that sounds great. I mean, I would love, who doesn't love a spa treatment? So how cool is that to be getting a massage and you're looking down, you're seeing the fish swimming through? I mean, it's kind of like you're getting a massage, you're snorkeling, you're getting the best of both worlds. Kidding, but that's so cool. I've
Yeah.
never, haven't heard of that really at any other location. So that's awesome. And I know I'd be down. So but kind of moving forward and kind of just talking about more of your hotels, we know Jumeirah is known for its flagship property, the Burj Al Arab in Dubai, and I think everyone kind of knows this property. It's so famous, which is often described as the most luxurious hotel. Don't they say 7 stars, I think? Could you tell us
Yeah.
more about this iconic property and what guests can expect when staying there? I know we go up to 5 stars, but you always hear give it a few
Sometimes
extra, right?
yeah, yeah. I take the 7 star, however you will. I think it is truly a really, really luxurious property. And after staying there myself, I can tell you I didn't want to leave. That is 100% for sure. But it is our crown jewel. It's our flagship. It's an architectural masterpiece. I mean, you can see it right behind me here. So it looks like a sailboat sail with the wind going into it. So it's supposed to evoke emotion. And it really, I mean, when you see it in person, here it looks beautiful, but when you see it in person, it really is very, very kind of humbling because of how big the property actually is. And it is meticulously maintained too. So even though the property is 24 years old, actually next year is going to be the 24th or 25th anniversary. Um, it's a it's actually the rooms are refreshed about every 6 months or so. So even down to like the pillows in the couch are restuffed every 6 months or so. So it has kept its charm and its Arabic flavor, but it has definitely been very well meticulously maintained in that time period. It's an all-suite property, so there's even though it is 50 stories high, there's about maybe 20 floors in total, 27 floors in total. So it doesn't feel as big as it actually is. But when you walk into your suite, they're all duplexes. So you have this gorgeous foyer with a chandelier hanging overhead and this wraparound staircase that takes you upstairs. You have this palatial bedroom. And honestly, I'm sitting in my apartment in New York right now, and the bathroom upstairs is bigger than my entire apartment. So, um, the exclusivity of the property is really, really great too. In order to access the private island, you have to have a reservation or either at the property or at an F&B outlet. So that's kind of great for celebrities that might want to stay out of the public eye a little bit more so. Um, we also have our beach club on the back of the restaurant, on the back of the hotel. So there's an infinity pool that looks out over the Arabian Gulf. There's our restaurant Sal, that's a Mediterranean food. So you can just sit there all day and enjoy a glass of wine and a mezze platter if you want to, cabanas to rent. There are 4 or 5 different outlets. And when it comes to something special about this property too, there was some people might be familiar with it, but there was a tennis match between Andre Agassi and I can't remember the other player years back on the helicopter pad. That's on the like right up there.
I do
And
remember that.
so that's one of the really cool pieces of it. And then the second one was when I really got introduced to it. David Guetta, the house DJ, had done a performance during the pandemic on top of the Burj as sort of like a stay at home, sit on your couch and watch me on the helipad perform a concert. So it's a really, really cool property, and it's something that we refer to as a bucket list for a lot of people for the first time they come to Dubai. But some people really adore the property and they want to stay again and again simply because additionally there's a butler on every single floor, and there's only about 8 to 10 rooms on every single floor as well. So it's a very good guest to staff ratio as well.
Well, it's on my bucket list, I'll tell you that much. It's great. But Jumeirah Resorts, I love that they focus on delivering luxury experiences. I know you talked a lot about, the unique services and amenities. I mean, you talked about a lot of different things, but we have people that are there for business, relaxation, and romantic getaways. So how do what kind of amenities can they expect?
Definitely. So I guess in terms of amenities or experiences, we'll kind of pare it down in 2 ways. So let's take one of my favorites is the Carlton Tower, a property in London. They're so fantastic at personalizing the guest amenities when you walk into the room, be it I have a custom pair of slippers here with my initials embroidered on the front of them, the pillowcases with the initials on them as well. And actually, the one thing that I thought was really cool, and I made them turn into a key ring, and I have it here. I don't know if you can kind of see it, but
Yeah.
it's your home away from home key. So you're supposed to leave it at the property, but I made them hole punch it for me. But it's a hot stamp with your initials, and every time you return to the property, they'll pull out your home away from home key to check you back in. So that leather key is actually the key that you would use to access your room. So I take Carlton Tower with me wherever I go.
Wow.
Love
Um,
that.
let's see, from experiences though, because that I think Carlton Tower really does the amenities incredibly well. But a story that I love at the Burj is we have an Italian restaurant that we borrowed from our Capri property that's called L'Olivo, and there's a giant aquarium in the middle of the restaurant. And there was a couple that was there, I don't know how many years ago, but he was going to propose to his girlfriend, and they had divers go down into the aquarium with a sign asking, will you marry me? And I just thought like that's the hospitality that we're trying to put forward and doing something that's unusual and different and fun. So I think that's probably one good example of it. And then another one happens to be, and I wanted to talk about this property because it's so off the beaten path. It's a place that people really haven't explored yet, and that's in Oman, in Muscat Bay, which when I first found out I was going, I'm like, where's Oman? So it was really eye-opening for me because it blew away all of my expectations, and it's so under the radar that I think a lot of people really should go and explore it. But the experience that we had there was we had a boat waiting for us at the beach. We hopped on, and before we knew it, we were out in the Gulf, and we had dolphins jumping out of the water all around us. So when you think of the Middle East, you don't necessarily think of oceans and seas, but we were boating with dolphins swimming on either side of us, and we're snorkeling over coral reefs with turtles and tropical fish, and we're having a private Arabic style barbecue on a private beach. So I thought that was something really cool that was put together for our itinerary to spend time there. So overall, I think all hotels have their own, but those are some of the ones that really stick out in my mind for experiences and amenities.
That's very
I
cool.
agree with you.
I've heard great things about Oman, so it's nice to hear you say that, just through in the travel industry, talking to people have raved about that. So very cool to hear, and cool to hear about the seas and getting to see dolphins and turtles and all that, because yeah, I agree. People wouldn't typically think that when going to some of these locations. But and then I feel like I maybe saw Instagram. Maybe I'm making this up, but the whole proposal under the water with the in the aquarium. I feel like I've seen that, but maybe could have been
Probably.
better. Yeah, right. I mean, but what a cool thing. And I mean, that is really what Jumeirah is about, I feel. It's just like truly giving that luxury experience to like the next level, that you guys will really take care of clients and really make sure that they are getting that true luxury feeling throughout their stay. And that's very important to our clients. So that is great. But with that, I think this is a great time to just take a quick 30-second break, and we'll send it over to Jim for his weekly travel tip.
Hey travelers, it's time for Jim's weekly travel tip. If you're lucky enough to stay at a Jumeirah hotel, don't just check in, dive in. Sure, the rooms are stunning and the beaches are beautiful, but the real magic is in the experiences. Book a private arbor boat ride through Madinat Jumeirah. Sip a 24-karat gold cappuccino at the Burj Al Arab, or take a cooking class with a world-class chef. Trust me, Jumeirah isn't just a hotel, it's a destination. So just don't stay, immerse. And now, back to Dan and Melody.
And we are back with Greg from Jumeirah Resorts. Thank you again, Greg, for joining us. We're so happy to have you here today. So if you've watched this show before, you know how much we are foodies. So of course, we're not going to leave the foodie questions behind. So the dining experiences at Jumeirah Hotels are world-class, often featuring Michelin-star chefs. And could you share more about the culinary experiences, Greg, offered across Jumeirah properties, and how food plays a central role in the guest experience?
Absolutely. So I'll try to keep it to a couple of examples here. But one of the restaurants, Cato, in the Maldives, is in our Maldives property, is probably one of the best um, Wagyu beef experiences that I've ever had. Just everything was so tender and so perfectly served. We had a group with us, so maybe about 10 or 12 people, overlooking the crystal waters of the Maldives. It was absolutely phenomenal, as well as the fresh fish. So I would say that the Cato restaurant at in the Maldives was absolutely fantastic. My second one that I really thought about was the L'Olivo at Capri Palace. So it's our two Michelin-star restaurant, and I actually was fortunate enough to just get to experience it about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I had a 7-course tasting menu here that was it might have been life-changing, but it's just every course was better than the next and so well plated, but the service was amazing, and it was actually the first time in my life, at least, that I've had a water sommelier to. I thought it was a joke. I'm like, what? Water is water, but no. Like, here's the minerality of this water versus this water in this location. They had a bread trolley coming by with like 15 or 20 different styles of Italian breads from all over. And then even after the 7-course meal, there was a dessert trolley that came by that had popcorn and to-go bags and cookies and chocolates. And of course, I took 3 bags of to go with back to my room after a 7-course meal. But that was probably up there in, I would say, top 3 or top 5 foodie experiences that I personally had. And then one that I really want to bring up too is the Sunset Terrace in Mallorca, because not only, and I know I've mentioned it earlier, but not only is the vibe, and again, Dan, right behind you, looking at the sunset, and the DJ and the feel of the terrace is incredible, but it's a fusion of Peruvian and Japanese cuisine. So there's a little bit of Spanish tapas influence to it, but you're also getting sashimi and sushi, and like I had a smoky Negroni, for example. So it was a very interesting food experience. And the other thing I love about the property in Mallorca is to get from Palma to Port Sawyer, where the property is, you have to drive through the Valley of the Oranges. So it's all of these orange groves. So all of the orange juice that they make at the property is actually fresh from these orange groves nearby, which was really cool and absolutely delicious.
Oh my gosh. After this, I'm going to have to go eat something, but it's nothing you have. I mean, well, like we said, we're foodies and we love the spa, because I'm a woman. I love the spa. That's my first thing I always think of. You have a signature feature at your resorts. Can you elaborate on the wellness programs and the spa treatments that are available to our guests to relax and rejuvenate?
Yeah, definitely. So the Talise, Talise, is our spa brand that we own. So at the Jumeirah properties, you'll see Talise spas, and I, each of them has their own little features. So again, I'll probably talk about three or so as an example. So I'll start with the Bali property. So Bali has the only traditional Turkish hammam on the island. So you can also combine it with holistic wellness experiences. So if you're into like energies, you can have a chakra consultation as well to realign energies. So I always think that that's kind of something interesting and something different. I personally love a deep tissue massage, but I can always go the chakra route as well if I need to feel like mentally balanced. Um, Capri is a medical spa, so I think I kind of alluded to it before, but there's a signature leg treatment. They get volcanic mud from Ischia, the island across the way, that has these sort of special algae plankton inside of it. And this treatment is mud all over your legs, and the mud actually almost numbs your legs. And it's supposed to help circulate blood within your system. And then there's hot and cold pools to go in afterwards, as well as like a hydrating cream and another body scrub afterwards. So it was something really different from the traditional facial massage, something different to try. I mean, I did have a face mask on too, but you have to do everything. And I think, and I kind of alluded to this one before too, but in Mallorca, the property itself has different experiential showers, like with eucalyptus, lavender infused. They have an ice room if you want to help with like athletic recovery. And then those geothermal pools, I think, are something nice that you can just sort of relax, fall asleep, look at the mountains while you're just, sitting in warm mineral water coming straight out of the earth. So each one's special. And actually, the Burj in Dubai has a rooftop pool in the spa, so you can actually swim parallel with the skyline of Dubai. So like the Burj Khalifa is in the background as you're doing your laps. It's really cool.
That all sounds amazing. Every single one of those. I actually I was in Ischia before, so when you were talking about Capri, and I did a mud wrap with that mud, and I'll tell you, it's quite the experience. There's a whole story to it, but I mean, it
Did
was
you
a
find
really something unique.
did you find it numbing too, like kind of cooling in a way, or was that just me?
I was so hot. Like we were
Okay.
wrapped. Were you wrapped? Like I think they put
Oh,
like a
my
sheet
legs
or something
only.
on top of us too.
Okay.
And
All
it
right.
was
I
like the
was I
whole
was
body.
cold.
It was cold. Yeah, no, this was like super hot. So I just remember like you're just sweating and then they like hosed you down afterwards, like literally. And I'm at a five-star luxury hotel, but they like literally take a hose and like get the mud off
Oh
of
yeah.
you. It was hilarious. It was quite the experience, but a great experience. I remember it like helped your skin and stuff like that. That's what I remember them saying. So it was
Yeah,
fun. It was a great experience.
exfoliation.
I would do it again. Hopefully you feel the same.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
100%.
Well, perfect. Well, that sounds good. So, Greg, we actually do have a couple questions from our viewers. So, I
Sure.
am going to start with Michael from Georgia. He asks, for families considering Jumeirah hotels, what family-friendly amenities or activities can they expect, especially in locations like Maldives or somewhere off the beaten path? And we've talked about Oman, so you could even talk about that too, if that's the place, or where any of your amazing properties.
Well, Oman definitely does have a kids club and a family pool as well, so that's fantastic if you want to. And we try to separate the adults that want to have a quieter time versus the families. But thankfully, most of our properties do have a kids club. Actually, Mallorca has an adorable pirate-themed kids club that's really, really cute. Something that I love that Jumeirah has in Dubai, within the complex behind me with Marinad and the Jumeirah Beach Hotel, is actually our Wild Wadi water park. So there's an entire water park there that families can go to and enjoy and spend the day on the slides if they want to. There's also at the Jumeirah Beach Hotel, which is right by these two, that has Murphy beds that come out for kids, so it's kind of cute. There's also a bunch of different jet skis that they can rent that look like Ferraris and explore the Jumeirah Beach. And then in the Maldives, there's actually an entire team dedicated to water activities, whether it's scuba diving or snorkeling. There's an entire arts and crafts center. So if you want to paint seashells, You can spend time doing that. There's also a photography studio, so guests can have a complimentary photo shoot if they want to take home a memento with them afterwards. So there's a lot for kids as well.
Very nice. That's
Well,
great.
I have a question from Sarah from Michigan. With so much growth currently happening, what is on the horizon for Jumeirah?
Great question. And there's a lot happening. So what I can tell you is definitely stay tuned. But right now we are focusing on expanding. We've gone through the rebrand, and now we are looking to pursue what we're calling Mission 2030. So by the end of the decade, we would like to expand from 26 properties to 52 properties. So there will be a lot more Jumeirah properties springing up through the next 5 or 6 years or so. Can't fully divulge city locations, but I can tell you that we are scoping out more in Europe, as well as Africa, and hopefully the US as well. And they're on our hit list to kind of open up and help with brand recognition and really make Jumeirah. We're already global, but we want to become even more global as well.
Sounds perfect. I mean, that's crazy. 52. That will be exciting to see because, it's great to have these properties that are just such luxurious properties for some of our clients. So we're excited to see them popping up more and more around Europe, Africa, hopefully the States, and wherever else you guys end up being, because I'm sure it'll be great no matter where you guys are at. So with that, Greg, we're done. So thank you so much for taking the time today. We truly, truly appreciate you. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel below. Make sure to like this episode and write in your comments below. Let us know what you think. Which of these resorts would you like to go to? What have you been thinking about? Would you want to try that water sommelier? I mean, that's pretty cool too. I've heard about that before, and I think that would be, I love my water. I'm always trying to drink better and better water. So that's actually right up my alley. That's super cool. But yeah, so make sure to pass this on to all your travel loving friends, especially those luxury travel lovers. And again, Greg, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me and Melody today. We truly appreciate you. And
Thank you, Greg. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
And then
Appreciate
also
it.
make sure to stay. I'm going to send it back over to Jim, and then we will do the sneak peek inside Jumeirah Hotels. So thank you again, Greg, and we will see everyone next Friday.
Thank you so much for joining us here today on Our Elite Escapes. Make sure you come back next Friday as Dan, Melody, and I travel to South Africa. And now, your sneak peek inside Jumeirah Hotels.
From the quiet of night to the flicker of first light, unfolding gently, a promise of beauty. In every detail, every gesture, listen to the stillness. Moments with those we love. Laughter on the summer breeze. Joy experienced, forever cherished. Feel the warmth of people and places. Inspired by our origins, passed down through generations. Given from the heart, from us to you.